Hello students, we're going to go ahead and start on a new song as well. I'm on page 34 for Old MacDonald Had a Band. The first thing you might notice about this song, it is not just one page. We are on a 2-page song now, which we'll have some fun with. We want to look at our hand position first of all. We have it right up here. And again, we're starting with finger 2 on our right hand on C, which we're not going to be as used to. So we find the 2 black keys, and then C's just below them. This time we'll need finger 2, 3, and 4 on our right hand. Go ahead and just practice moving fingers 2, 3, and 4. Now on our left hand, we see we're again focused on the 3 black keys, but we're not using our finger 4, 2, 3, 4. We're not using our ring finger. But we would still have that one below the 3 black keys on F if we did use it. Instead, we just have G and A with our finger 2 and 3 in the middle of the 3 black keys. We'll look at that again. But let's explore the song just like we did before. What do you notice about the ending, the beginning? Hopefully you're taking a look and you see that F. So you know you got to play it loud and forte. You know it's a 2-page, so we see that double bar line here. Now, did any of you notice the repeat sign? So we actually do the first page 2 times before we get to the second page. You know the song, so that'll feel pretty natural. If there's anything else that seems unfamiliar in the song, go and take a look around. It's possible you saw our half rest. It's been a while since we've used these. Remember, it makes the same sound as hat, and it's our half rest. Kind of looks like a top hat. And just like a half note, which is blank in the middle, not colored in, it's worth 2 beats. So when you see these half notes or when you see the half rests, make sure you hold them 2 beats. Anything else that you notice? Which hand do you see being used the most, let's say? I would point out, especially on this first page, it's mostly the right hand. We see these stems going up for the right hand. The left hand only plays 4 notes, and then it's all the right hand again. Let's go ahead and start with the left hand, even though it's not the first note we play. So with the left hand, it says finger 3 is going to start. Before we get to the keyboard, I just want you to remember 1, 2, there's my finger 3. And it's telling us that's G, and then we have to go up a little bit to A. In that last video, we reminded everyone that the musical alphabet starts over at G. So that's telling us finger 3, and then up 1 to A, so it's finger 2. And I did it 2 times because we see that note stays at the same level before it goes back down to G with finger 3. So it's fingers 3, 2, 2, 3, but we have a half note on that final G, so it would be 3, 2, 2, 3 before you let off. Otherwise, when we do look at the beginning, because we have finger 2 on C, that's the one that we're starting with, and it stays the same across, so we just do C 3 times, finger 2, 3 times, before we get to do our left hand with the stem going down, 3, 2, 2, 3. Now this part's my favorite, but let's go ahead and just let you take a minute and see if you can play it without me saying anything. It's your right hand with the stems going up. Tells us to start on finger 4. And if you got that, you notice the E stayed the same, so you did it 2 times. You took 1 little step down, D stayed 2 times, and 1 more step down to C, and it was a half note again, so you had to hold it. Let's try that out on the piano real quick. All right, we'll see if this works out for us. So again, 2 black keys, C is below it. 3 black keys, F is below it, but we don't need it. for finger 4. We only need fingers 2 and 3. So now we have our playing notes, except we have to add our middle finger and our ring finger. So we have fingers 2, 3, 4 on our right hand, if you try that, and fingers 2, 3 on our left hand. Like the song says, we start with our right hand, C 3 times in a row, before the left hand gets to do 3, 4, 4, 3. So here I go. 3, oh no, I said it wrong. 3, 2, 2, 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 2, 3. Now that sounds like the song, you know. Just do that once more with me. 2, 3, 4. Holding that half note. Let's do that one more time together. You can pause it and practice before if you want. And of course we got to say E-I-E-I-O, and like we already talked about, we're starting at the highest with finger 4, staying on it, going down, staying on it, and then a half step for C. So let's try that. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, and our half rest. But we got to repeat, so let's do it once more. 3, 3, 2, rest, rest. Now if we look back at the second page, what looks similar? In both cases we start with finger 2 on our right hand again, though now I've got a half note. In both cases then we go to our left hand on finger 3, but this time it stays on finger 3 the whole time and we hold it. Let's do just that. Finger 2, finger 3 on my left hand, and then it tells us to go right back to our right hand on C, and now there's 2 half notes before we go back to our left hand and do the same thing we just did. So here's my 2 notes on C that I'll hold for 2 beats each. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then my left hand finger 3 again. 1, 1, 1, 2. Strike just that line one more time. 2, 3, 4. Left hand, right hand, left hand. So I like this part of the song because your left hand only does one thing 2 times. And your right hand is only playing 1 note. You only needed 2 fingers for that whole part of the song. Now, if we look at the final part, I want you to compare it to the first page. Tell me what's the same and what's different. And you probably noticed, well, actually, we start with finger 2 on C 3 times. We go down to our left hand on G with finger 3 and do our little up to A and back down to G and hold it. And then it's the same E-I-E-I-O with the half rest. Only difference, there's no repeat, so we actually get to finish it up. So let me play this for you once, singing with it, and then once more. You can pause right now if you want to practice a bit before you try to play with me. But we're going to do from the beginning with the repeat where you have to go back to it. And I see that F for forte, so I'm going to try to play nice and loud. I made sure my finger 2 was on C below the 2 black keys. Old MacDonald had a band, E-I-E-I-O, rest, rest. In his band he had a horn, E-I-E-I-O, to the second page. Toot, toot here, toot, toot there. All right, let's do it once more without the singing. So if that's not your thing or it distracts you, you can still practice. We'll still do that repeat. Here we are at the beginning. Make sure that you have the 2 white keys between the 3 black keys. And we're off. 2, 3, 4. Half rest. Half rest. So if you just played that right now, you did excellent work. More likely you played most of it with me and need to practice a little bit. Maybe you should pay extra attention to those half notes so you hold them long enough. Or maybe you held them too long and you forgot to stop when you saw our half rests. The left hand moves the most, so maybe you just want to practice that a few times. Whatever you need to do to feel better about the song, go ahead and go back to that part only, and then try the whole thing together. If this was a little easy for you, then I challenge you, see how much of it you can memorize, and you can play with the book closed. Once you have that ready, you should show it to your mom or dad so they can be proud of all the work you put in. Good job.